And welcome to the Gaelic Wars mockumentary. You guys might as well be a pile of leaves, because y'all are about to be blown away.
Caesar's spies were sent by Caesar and his lieutenant to go into the lesser of the tribes of the Gaul region. They, when they were there, figured out by allying with the smaller tribe, figured out who were holding what cards and what tribes they had to worry about. They reported all this back to Caesar.
I send you to go spy on the possibly friendly tribe.
I go!
Hello. What would you like to know?
Come back with me to our cabin. Or not cabin, camp.
Come!
Away!
Faster, you fool! You move so slow! Hello. I needed to know all the numbers of people that batted maybe. English, good man.
He said we need to know if there's any bad people or good people.
They are bad people and good people. My camp would wish to be your ally.
Agreed.
Sweet.
Yay!
Sweeteth.
We be allies now.
I am Moses Francois, and I will be explaining to you Chapter 3 of the heart-wrenching trilogy that is the Gaelic Wars explained. So, Caesar sent one of his men to the Alps, but he got much more than he expected, and tons of battles broke out, and it was chaos, and he wasn't expecting those battles. But it is what it is. One battle in particular was a naval battle, and this battle, I'm sorry, this is really a lot for me. It's because of the location of where everything was at. The ships that they had would really break down, like I might. But so Caesar, being the amazingly wise and smart general that he is, he had special warships built, and they didn't work because they had the speed, but they didn't have the height they needed to throw the harpoons, and it was a disaster. Luckily, just by the grace of God, the Roman fleet showed up, the rest of the Roman fleet, and they didn't know what they were doing. They were just, I'm sorry. They couldn't get it together, but they did, and they ended up, some of the Romans on the land took over the enemy's sail yards, which, yay, but what happened to those enemies? I guess they fled. They ran away like little wimps. But where were they going? Anyway, Rome won that battle, and that's a victory for Rome. But those enemies that lost, they lost, and losing is no fun. It's too much. That's all I got. That's all I got for now. Caesar had this plan, and he was attacking this fort, but like they were having a really hard struggle, and the cavalry was like, hey, other cavalry members, what if we snuck around the back? Maybe, I don't know, it seems like all their forces are up here, so what they did. So the cavalry went around. They're like, whoa, it is way easier to attack from back here. And darn tootin' it was. And so they went and told their commander, Crassus, and he was all like, well, shoot, y'all. Why don't we just attack them from the back? So he sent the cavalry back there, and they got them from behind. They broke in, slaughtered a bunch of people. And you know what they say, you can't spell slaughter without laughter. So when they heard a lot of people falling and dying and stuff, I don't know if they heard that, but they became aware of it. And Rome's army gave up a loud yee-haw. Well, probably not yee-haw. But yeah, they cheered really loud because they knew they had won. After this battle, when they had attacked them from behind, most all of Gaul had heard of this, and they were like, oh snap, we can't handle this pressure. And they were like, so they surrendered. But two people, I always forget their names, pardon me. The Menapi and the Morini, I believe is correct. They were like, no. Heck no. I don't want to surrender. I don't want no stinking Rome in my... No. It's ridiculous. So they didn't want any of it. And Caesar was like, oh snap. We could have a war. So he didn't want that, of course, because who wants war? That's ridiculous. He sent a large group of his army over there, and they stopped at the edge of a forest. They're like, I don't see any enemies around. This is like a great place to fortify. So they started to make a camp, like Lincoln logs and stuff, I guess, just cutting down trees, building stuff. And then the enemies ran out of the forest and totally just killed a lot of people. But then Rome made an amazing comeback, and they killed a lot of them. And it was ridiculous. The enemy started fleeing, and Caesar was like, it'd be absolutely terrible if that happened again. So he started cutting down large portions of forest, and it's just massive, and man, it was ridiculous. And he cut down tons of forest and used those trees to make his rampart and fortify his fort. And in doing so, he was like giving the enemy a disadvantage. So Caesar was a tactical genius.
Part of Caesar's Gallic Wars, Book 4. So it starts off, Caesar is at war with Germany, but he skunks their butt in war. So Caesar decides that he needs a little bit of a challenge with war. So he decides, I'm gonna go take over Britain. So he sends a guy named, I think his name is Velicinus, starts with a V and ends with an S. Something like that. And he stakes out Britain. And so Caesar decides, alright, it is time to conquer Britain. So he goes. He sends him forward. But then the tides are turning like this. And the tides come up and wreck the ships. And his ships were no longer together. And so Caesar starts freaking out that his ships are getting flooded and that they're getting wrecked, and he's having this threat of enemies upon him. So he commands his men, get into the water and fight like a bunch of big kids. So his soldiers jump off and start fighting in the water. So they defeat the barbarians who had been originally attacked. So now, as he proceeds into Britain, he decides, you know what? There comes a point in life where you just have to beat the Britons. So they fight, and they fight, and they fight, and Caesar wins. Because, frankly, losing is bad. And so, originally, a little bit before Caesar attacked Britain, he was running away from the Sueve people. They were very, as you'd call it, a pain in the batuti. So, Caesar decides he's going to build a giant bridge across the Rhine River because nothing was good enough for him. So, he goes across the Rhine River into the land of the Sagambri. And they run away, they're all very afraid of him, and Sueve are like, oh look, it's a bridge. And so Caesar goes, I can't share! No one can use my bridge! So he walks over and he tears apart that bridge. And it's quite interesting. Caesar is a tough loser. And that's all for today.
It is not the bridge that Caesar built, but this is what we are using to get a point across. Caesar built a bridge to get his men across the Rhine River. Fascinating. And it would probably have worked a little better. I've made a mistake. It wobbled. Oh my gosh.
Let me use your bridge.
I'm Caesar. No.
Oh no, the bridge!
Ha ha ha. How are you gonna get across now?
Oh goodness, my dreams are shattered. Magically cross the Rhine River.
This is actually made up.
Remember,
What?
this is a low-budget documentary.
This is gonna.
If you talk British, it sounds
result in a
official.
wet Santa Claus.
Be quiet, Santa Claus. Just jump the
Jump.
Rhine.
Jump the river.
Jump the river. Oh, yay!
Ew.
He jumped the river.
My pants.
He's white.
Jump, Santa Paws. Oh, there's a spastic goat.
Okay, the goat is giving me a little cheering. Oh crap.
Go. Disappointment. Bloopers.
You're gonna make me wear this
Yeah, we are.
armor bra thing.
Darn straight.
It's a breastplate.
Armor bra.
It's bad.
Did you hear the ding?
She told you. Caesar. You already started.
No, I didn't. Oh, yes, I did.